Look at our strategy and tactics. We don't struggle for GNU. Our strategic objective is to remain in power forever. And the comrade Mapaila, when we engaged the first meeting of talks about talks and consultations, the issue that he raised there was that, comrades, how do we safeguard political power? That's what is important. Now, we responded to that. What needs to be done? And we responded through a GNU. We had many options on the table, and other people then want to redefine and say that this is a grand coalition because one person from the DA said this is an agreement between the ANC and the DA when there is no such. We have signed agreements with 10 political parties. There were 11, and the other one withdrew and went back to the Progressive Alliance, so-called Progressive Alliance in Parliament. And we remained. And all political parties are happy and they are serving in the GNU. And that's what has actually happened. So because we have suffered a setback, we did not get outright majority. We then adopted the path of the Government of National Unity. What is Government of National Unity? It's a tactical intervention. It's not permanent. It can change at some point and become something else. But at the end of the day, we're not locking ourselves into a GNU permanently. That GNU will change over time. And that's what the ANC will be working on. So we will engage with Comrade Solly as it is expected, including the assertion that there is a faction of neoliberalism in the ANC led by the president. We'll engage with that. We're not afraid to engagement. We have always said and insisted that this is uncharted waters, and we have explained to our comrades that it's just like when the armed struggle was suspended. There are others who elevated the suspension of the armed struggle from a tactic to a strategic goal. And then we kept on saying, and the leadership of the ANC explained that the armed struggle can be switched on and off at any time because it's a tactic at your disposal. We had options, including to become a backbench party and opposition and rerunning of the elections. We have chosen to work for everybody. And why did we choose to work with everybody? It's for interest of South Africa. In our foundational principles of the statement of intent, overarching is the stability of the country. Isn't it? The lights are on. No load shedding. And then people were saying that this load shedding is happening. Lights are on, it's temporarily. They will go backward and all of that. The lights are on. The government is functioning. The rand is strengthening. Jobs will be created. I'm sitting here with the Deputy Minister of Trade and Industry. The economy is on the boom. Jobs will be created. And then Mike and me will discuss neoliberalism agenda that is on the rise. That he must tell us that where is this neoliberalism and how do we foresee it? And how do we maneuver within a capitalist mode of production? The South African Communist Party is leading an anti-bourgeoisie revolution to destroy a capitalist economy, and that is their burden. In the ANC, we advanced for a mixed economy. At best, we can say we are social democrats, but we are a party of revolutionary democrats. That's who we are. We are not socialism or capitalism, right? Our relationship with capital is unity and struggle of the opposite. They wanted us out, capital. They sponsored political parties in this country. They formed them. They gave them money. But at the same time, we need them. We need them to create the very same jobs we are talking about. We need them to grow the economy. We need capital to grow the economy for the development of the country. Now, we understand perfectly that Communist Party does not even come close to that. But if we are to take examples from China, China itself had to change to something that is called socialist market economy because it is advancing towards socialism, but it could not advance without understanding that you are building towards socialism in a capitalist, globalized economy. Globalization is also about a capitalist mode of production. Things have become closer. You meet with your friends like now on Instagram and everything else. It has got its own advantages and disadvantages, all right? So the ANC in the mix of all of this, it's not a socialist party. It's a party of revolutionary democrats. That's what we are, with a Pan-Africanist outlook. That's who we are, all right? So you don't have a difficulty to understand where we stand and who we are ideologically as a party, the African National Congress. So you're not going to change the ANC overnight and take a burden of unleashing war on capital the same as the Communist Party will do. That's why the Communist Party is a vanguard party of the working class. And the ANC is a vanguard party of the liberation movement. When we talk about the movement, we talk about COSATU, Communist Party, and everybody else, led by the African National Congress through a program called the National Democratic Revolution, which has actually suffered a setback. So what we needed to do was to say, how do we then safeguard political power to advance the National Democratic Revolution? And that's what we're doing. So if you believe that GNU and the ANC being dominant in that GNU, not just dominant, leading it, it's a sellout position because the DA is party to it, then let's convince each other about what is the enemy, what is the opposition, what is the sellout position, and all of that. What have we done in a very short space of time? Because at least we are no longer talking about an experiment. We're talking about something that is happening right now. What has actually signaled to us that there is a sellout position? Irritation of ministers who call themselves political parties in a government, who claim easy victories over things. You know, I was in a big match at the Springboks, and then people praise Gayton, which is good. He's a Rasmatas, Gayton. I love him. As a minister, he's doing a great job, right? But people love Gayton. They say, no, Gayton delivered trains, but trains are delivered by Barbara. You see, so whose responsibility is it to claim that the trains that are ferrying people to the stadium and that whole arrangement is an integrated arrangement but led by the Department of Transport? Isn't it the Department of Transport itself? And of course, the Minister of Sports is there. He's doing a marvelous job, brilliant, in the context of the GNU, and representing as well, making it a point that rugby is televised on SABC for after many years. That's a great achievement. And that minister is working, and ANC have said every minister who's doing well will be supported. We're not looking at ministers in terms of their political parties. Neither does it irritate us that others want to apportion what they do on behalf of government to their own political parties. We understand the game. We understand the game. If people are sleeping on the job, they are not doing what is expected of them and tasks assigned to them by the ANC and government, don't blame it on GNU, blame it on individuals who are sleeping on the job, and do something about them, because they are supposed to provide leadership, and stop blaming others who are doing their job to the best of their ability to showcase what they can offer to the Republic of South Africa, which we welcome. GNU is functioning. It is stable. Lights are on. The economy is projecting to be growing at a faster pace. We are attracting investment in the country. And that's what is important for us going forward. So we will debate neoliberalism with Comrade Solly, and there is nothing wrong with that. But if Comrade Solly then goes and label us and say we're neoliberals and our president is leading a big faction, we will resist that. There is no faction in the ANC. The dominant idea that wins the day, it is out of a rigorous process of engagement. GNU was not imposed in the NEC, it was debated. Options were put on the table. It was informed by a strategic perspective. in first understanding what is the moment. And that is why we came to a conclusion that this moment is a moment of the ANC and its allies suffering a major setback. It's a setback. We are defeated in the elections, but we are not out. But equally, it's a signal that the West can come. So how do we turn a setback into victory in the long term? It can happen, it may not happen. We then went down. We analyzed the elections, the outcome. Now we are at the phase of implementing. We know what happened, who took our votes, what happened, and all of that, and what needs to be done to come back. We know. So if we do the things right, we keep the lights on, we do the right things and all of that, we know that that will rekindle social contract between government, in particular ANC-led government, with the people of South Africa.